Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Foreclosure Help 777, where we talk about everything foreclosure related. This is my private group, Facebook group called Foreclosure Help 777 that you can join if you're going into foreclosure or you need help with your foreclosure. We are all here to help each other. There's 206 members at the moment, and you are certainly welcome to join us if you're going through the same thing we are. I went through my own foreclosure back in 2011, 2012, and fought it until 2021, where we settled out of court. And what I do to help people is just try to let them know what I've experienced. And if you need help with questions, you can certainly send them to me. My email address is foreclosurehelp777@gmail.com, and it's spelled with the number 4 like you see here. Okay guys, I also appreciate it when you subscribe and like my channel. It helps me. I guess after I get a certain number of people, it helps. So we'll see if that ever happens, right? Anyway, thank you for your patronage. And I'm watching my videos. A lot of you have told me that you enjoy listening to them and that they've helped you. So let's talk about and give an update to some cases here. Let's talk about Carrington's case first. A lot of you follow his case as well. As you know, he lost his foreclosure in the state court, and he filed a notice of appeal. If you look in the court docket right here, you can look at the top here. Okay, go to Kings County Supreme Court. You can also search as a guest, and it doesn't cost anything. Just put in his information, and it should come right up. It's 11234-2009, Wells Fargo Bank, N.A. versus William Carrington. And he appealed his case, let's see, way down here. There it is, Notice of Appeal, Informational Statement and Copy of Order of Proof of Service. And he did this on 12/18/24. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so the first page just basically says Notice of Appeal. It's like a cover page with his name and address. The next page says Notice of Appeal, and it just says, please take notice that Defendant William Carrington hereby appeals the Appellate Division, 2nd Department, from a trial of the final judgment of foreclosure and sale of the Supreme Court, the State of New York, and for the County of Kings, Honorable Judge Lawrence Nye Pell, entered in the offices of the clerk of said court on December 2nd, 2024, which inter alia, or among other things, after a bench trial granted plaintiff final judgment of foreclosure and sale, and from which and every part thereof. And he signed it, dated it, and then you have to fill out this form that you get from the website, and you can see it's a fill in the blank PDF kind of thing. So you just fill out all this information and put check marks in the appropriate boxes. It's a civil action, it's an appeal, it's mortgage foreclosure, that kind of stuff. And you basically put this information in. It asks if there's any other actions pending. And of course, you know he's filed a complaint in federal court against the same people. PHH Mortgage and Wells Fargo as trustee for the Soundview Home Loan Trust, and Ronald Park of Hinshaw & Culbertson filed on 10/31/24. Status is pending. So he had to put that on his appeal in the state court, so they would know he's also fighting a case in federal court. This page pretty much sums it up. Whether the court below erred in granting the trial judgment in favor of the plaintiff. Whether the court below erred in denying defendant's appellant's motion sequence 10, 11, 16, and 23. And then you just fill these things out. You submit it. You have to file the notice of entry showing the final judgment. This is the judge's order from the trial. That has to be included. And then a certificate of service showing that you're serving the other side. It's got to be in here as well. And it is. Okay, so that's what his notice of appeal looks like. Now he has to file his appellate brief, which perfects the appeal, within 6 months. Now he's been working on this for quite a long time. I can give you guys a little preview of what he's done so far and see what y'all think. His appeal brief is pretty thorough, I think. This is what it looks like as far as the caption in the appellate court division, and his case number in appeals court is 2025-00669. Brief for defendant appellant, and there it is. And then you can see the table of contents, table of authorities, questions presented, nature of the case, introduction, argument. Point 1, the case should have been dismissed following the reversal on appeal. And then you can see he argues about the notes and allonges. Point 2, the respondent's fraud on the court, motion sequence 11. Motion sequence 10 was the motion to dismiss. Motion sequence 11 is the where they filed a cross motion for summary judgment and produced fraud on the court, as we've talked about in previous videos. And then motion sequence 16 was his motion in Lamine, where he pointed out all the defective documents that should have been suppressed from trial, but they weren't. Respondent still lacks standing. We go over all the reasons why they don't have standing to foreclose. And then the trial court's pattern of procedural irregularities, one-line rulings, and denials of due process warrant reversal. Again, he was pretty much abused by the court, and the judge was very biased. And then you can see here, he was denied discovery. His motion in Lamine was denied. And the trial court allowed the plaintiff to ambush the appellant with contradictory documents while denying appellant a meaningful opportunity to object. The trial court's conduct demonstrates an abuse and discretion and bias. And then he has a conclusion and an appendix. These are his cases he's going to cite in his appellate brief. And you can see these are probably some of these cases you recognize. And if you don't, that's okay too. Always vet your case law to make sure that it does exist, because sometimes AI will give you a case and it doesn't exist. The last thing you need is to get sanctioned because you cite a case that doesn't exist. So always vet your case law and make sure not only that it exists, but that the information is taken in the right context as well. All right, and then you can see his actual appeal brief, introductions and stuff, and then he's got a conclusion that he wrote. I don't want to get into too much of this, guys. Just wanted to show you what he's done. And then his appendix, which basically outlines all his exhibits that he's attaching to it. You need a table of contents for the appendix. And you can see he's attaching all these things to his appellate brief. And then the cover sheets for each one is right here. For instance, Exhibit A is the motion to dismiss, motion sequence 10, which was filed on 12/4/23, and you can see at the bottom it says A1. That will be his cover page, and it also shows on here page A1. So they have to match, as you can see right here. This organizes all his exhibits to his motion, so it all comes together good. Okay, let's talk about the next case. Let's talk about Sabrina's case. She's been waiting and waiting for hers, and they finally did something. So in Sabrina's case, and you can see her case history here, and her case number, and she's in Missouri, is 424CV01020. And you can see that it's Kohler versus Broker Solutions, Inc. And you can see she filed this 7/25/24, and this is her second complaint that she had a previous one that went on for almost a year, so this is her second one. And they dismissed her first one without prejudice, so that's why she was able to refile. And you can see they filed a motion to dismiss. Well, she filed an amended complaint. They filed a motion to dismiss. The judge ordered her to file an amended complaint that outlines the jurisdictional questions. And you can look at this order concerning jurisdiction that was just made. After 6 months, this order comes down. This matter is before the court on review of the file. Courts have an independent obligation to determine subject matter jurisdiction, and they give you case law and stuff. But, I mean, the bottom line is this. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this and not waste our time here. It is hereby ordered that by March 24th, plaintiff shall file a second amended complaint that alleges facts establishing citizen of all parties to this action. It is further ordered that plaintiff does not file a timely and fully comply with this order. The matter will be dismissed due to lack of subject matter jurisdiction. Okay, so what she did was she filed her amended complaint. It's called a second amended complaint, as you can see right here. And she says at the beginning, comes now plaintiff Sabrina Kohler, acting in pro se capacity on behalf of herself, reside at 4023 Fawn Hollow Drive, House Springs, Missouri, files this second amended complaint pursuant to Judge Drucker's order dated March 6, 2025, Doc 25, to correct the jurisdictional issues as follows. And what she did was she corrected her parties, which have to state that she's a citizen. So she says she's a citizen of the state of Missouri. And Defendant Broker Solutions is a citizen of the state of California. As it says right here, a citizen of the state of California. That means it's diversity jurisdiction. And pretty much put it in the jurisdiction and venue that this now complies with all this stuff. Everything else in her amended complaint is exactly the same as the first amended complaint. That's the only difference. So I checked the court docket to see if it's there, and looky, it's there right now. So she got her amended complaint filed timely, and now they have to file a response to that. So that's where her case is at. Okay guys, the next case we're going to go over real quick is Marlon's case. He's suing his lender, SN Servicing. It's been going on for quite some time now. He just got a scheduling order issued on March the 5th, which basically outlines his case and how it will proceed. Now his case survived a motion to dismiss, so he's going to go on to trial, and this is what's going to happen. The motions to join new parties or to amend pleadings will be filed by 4/4/25. Expert witnesses by 4/21/25, as you can see here, for the plaintiff anyway. For the defendant, 5/19/25. Discovery by 6/30/25. So by June 30th, he's got to have discovery completed. Dispositive, can't pronounce that word, dispositive. Can you guys say it? Dispositive motions. Might be easier to say it that way. Will be filed by 7/28/25. And non-dispositive motions, other than motions in limine, will be filed by 7/28/25. Now, the difference is this. A dispositive, let's say it like that, dispositive motion is a motion such as a motion to dismiss or a opposition to motion to dismiss. A non-dispositive motion is a motion to compel or a motion in limine. So those are different kinds of motions, in case you didn't know. So he's got to file his motion to compel anyway by July 28th. Mediation, if he's going to go that route, by 5/30. The plaintiff is responsible for filing the pretrial order on time. Pretrial order. Pretrial conference, pretrial order. Okay, the conference is for 11/3/25. Bench trial is set for 9:30 a.m. on November 17, 2025. Okay, so that's what his trial is set for. Just so you know. He's not getting a jury trial. A jury trial is it costs a lot of money, first of all, to get a lawyer to do a jury trial. I don't recommend a pro se litigant doing a jury trial unless they are well versed in jury trial, because they will eat you alive. So he's agreed to the bench trial because of that reason. Just so you know, not everybody can be their own lawyer and do these things. I'm not saying he couldn't do it, but he's chosen not to because he thinks that they will eat him alive, which they probably will do. I don't know. But hopefully he'll be able to get his discovery and prove his case without needing to worry about that, right? Let's all pray for Marlon and his case to move forward. He will be filing a motion to compel because they are not cooperating with discovery requests. Okay, guys, that does it for today's episode. I hope it all works out for y'all. If you have any questions, you can send me an email or leave a comment, and I'll try to help you. And as always, God bless.